What is up? It is Coach Abby. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are covering a super important topic because there is a big misconception when it comes to fat loss for nurses specifically. Because what we're taught is eat less, move more, eat less, move more, calorie deficit, just eat less, just work out more, just do more cardio. But what if you're already doing that? Most nurses are already doing that. If you think about what your day to day looks like, you are spending time running around the hospital 12 hours straight. You have what, 15,000 steps by the time you finish your shift. And then what did you really eat? Maybe you had one meal. Maybe you had a snack. Maybe you had a few snacks. That's not enough. So when you think about, oh, I just need to eat even less and move even more, that's going to make you so exhausted even thinking about it. It's just not going to be realistic. If you're only eating one meal per day, what are you supposed to eat? Like a half a meal per day? You can't just keep cutting back. So we are going to jump into what's going on here and how to fix it. How do you actually lose fat as a nurse? Because you can't just keep cutting back. So here's what's happening. The inconsistent meals is the first thing. We have inconsistent meals during the 12-hour shifts and days off. So say you're working a night shift, maybe your hunger cues are off, maybe you just eat a couple snacks, you're not having much hunger, you're having less food as a whole. What this is actually doing to your body is slowing down your metabolism. In the past, maybe in nursing school, maybe you would eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You'd have it at consistent times, and you'd still work out here and there and things like that, and you were able to maintain your weight. But now you're eating even less and you're gaining weight. What's happening? Your metabolism has slowed down. So your metabolism is slowing down. You're also experiencing things like muscle loss because you're not fueling your body enough properly to even hold on to muscle, that you're losing muscle. That leads to this feeling of feeling puffy and experiencing weight gain. I hear nurses in two situations. One boat is they've gained 20 plus pounds doing this, having the inconsistent meals, not eating enough. And then the other side is going to be, I haven't really gained weight, but my clothes are fitting differently and I feel puffy, I feel inflamed, and I don't feel confident in my skin anymore, even though the scale hasn't changed too much. So both of those situations are due to the same thing. Your metabolism is slowing down, you're experiencing muscle loss, and you're probably experiencing some digestive issues along the way, and you're holding onto water weight, you're holding onto inflammation, and that is what's going on here. So solution is pretty simple. I'm not hiding anything. Here it is. Proper fuel is going to be the biggest piece of this. Yes, there's going to be other important factors like sleep and recovery and workouts and things like that. But the biggest lever that you can control to fix this is fueling yourself properly through your nutrition. And that's why I titled this, Losing Fat as a Nurse Requires More Food, Not Less Food. And that's very counterintuitive to like what we've learned just with fat loss in general and everything out there. So you actually need to be eating more. I spelled more wrong. We need to be eating more, and not just eating more for the sake of eating more, but eating more strategically, eating more protein, eating more carbs, eating the right amount of fats per day so that we can actually build muscle, fuel our bodies, recover properly, and build that lean toned muscle and get your metabolism to a point again where you're burning more calories throughout the day. Because when you're eating more, you can burn more calories throughout the day, but eating more strategically, not just getting fast food. So we're going to jump into a few examples of how these nurses were able to get unstuck. They were able to lose fat by first eating more, because I want to show you the proof too, because it can be scary to, I just need to eat more. That's like so intimidating. Like I don't want to gain more weight. What's going on here? So here's a few examples for you. So number one is Jessica. I gotta stay hydrated here. But Jessica, she is a night shift nurse. She's been on night shifts for 10 years in the ER. She gained about 20 pounds over the course of time just due to work and life stressors and some different things, routine changes. And she was eating pretty healthy too through this process. She was eating pretty healthy. She was working out a few times a week, and she was still not seeing progress. So that was the most frustrating part for her, is she was doing the work but not seeing the results. So what is going on here? If we look a little bit deeper, if we look at what was going on with her meals, she had inconsistency with her meals. Sometimes she would just have one meal during her shifts, other times just snacks. And I find this is super common for night shift nurses, is that you're not eating much on your shift and then you're sleeping away most of your day off. You're not getting many calories at all. You're definitely not hitting enough protein. So that's kind of where she found herself. So I'm going to show you exactly what her protocols and everything looked like and how we got her to go from the photo on the left to the photo on the right, where she's way more confident, she's feeling strong, she's feeling energized, and she's able to maintain it. So Jessica we couldn't just cut back more food. That would make absolutely no sense. If she was already eating, let's say she was eating 1,000 calories a day, we're not going to cut back to 500. No one can survive off of that. So here's what we did instead. Her starting protocols looked like this. This is her unique protocols. I'm not saying this is going to work for you. She was eating less than this, but we bumped her up to about 1,500 calories per day and set a protein goal in place with 3 balanced meals per day. Or for her, when I say per day, I basically mean your sleep-wake period. So while you're awake, you're having those 3 balanced meals. Within that, she was having about 1,500 calories, 130 grams of protein. She had a step goal and 3 strength training sessions per week. So that's her starting protocols here. That's the first thing that we fixed. The biggest thing there is having more consistent meals, having balanced meals, and eating a little bit more, definitely eating more protein. Over time, this is over time. I need to emphasize that. We're not just going to randomly increase to almost 2,000 calories, but over time, increased her foods, increased her protein, her fats, her carbs, all the way up to 1,980 calories per day. And you know what happened through that process? Jumping up almost 400 calories more per day, she lost 10 pounds. Why? Because her metabolism is functioning the way it should be. You're burning more calories throughout the day. You're able to just move around more when you have more energy. She had way more energy. She was able to put way more into her sessions in the gym, where she was actually seeing progress in building muscle and fueling her body properly. She lost 10 pounds through that process. Then she started her dieting phase, because at that point she had built the foundation, she had fixed the gaps. Because if you're trying to diet with that rocky foundation, it's never going to work. That's why we always start with that metabolism piece in the program before dieting. And this is her progress. She's over 10 pounds down now. But you can just see her insane transformation here. And she had to eat more first in order to do that. Next is night shift NICU nurse Megan. Where is she? Here she is. So let me explain what's kind of going on between these photos here. First off, she's on night shift. What was she doing before? She thought that she needed to eat less on night shifts. I feel like this is a very common misconception for night shift nurses, is especially like if you go to a nutritionist or someone that doesn't know how to handle nutrition around night shifts. A lot of them don't, believe it or not. They're going to tell you, oh, just like don't eat, or just opt for smaller options and blah, 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 blah. And yes, there is some truth to, yes, you don't want to be having giant meals during your shifts, but you also don't want to be doing the opposite, which is having really small meals, barely eating at all. So she thought that's what she needed to do, was just have a few snacks to get through her shift. She gained 20 pounds over the course of working night shifts, and she was doing yoga and Pilates during all this. So she was trying to do some classes. She was super low on energy to even meal prep on her days off, so she really wasn't eating much at all. Now, where she's at, she's 10 pounds down. And in the photos, you can just see. Look at her core, look at less inflammation, less bloating, all the things. Now, she has better digestion too, more energy, and she's eating more. She's eating 3 balanced meals per day, aka during her sleep-wake window. She actually worked up to over 2,200 calories per day over the past few months working together. So look at all of the progress that she's seen. I think she just got into her dieting phase. I have to go check. But she's working with Coach Ashley on our team, and she is killing it. So anyway, she's 10 pounds down. She actually had to size down in her scrubs as well. I spelled balanced wrong. And she's eating more. So she went from having just like the snacks during her shifts to the 3 balanced meals per day, 2,200 calories. And now she's set up for a successful dieting phase. And you can see, like, imagine starting your dieting phase with the progress on the right side of the screen, like just by fixing the foundational stuff. this is what nurses need. We're going to go through one more example. I have tons of examples, but I'm just showing you 3 that come to mind today. Don't want to bore you, but want to hit home with this for you and really show you the proof. Next is Emma, a night shift nurse. Prior to joining the program, she was also just eating 1 meal through her night shifts. Maybe some snacks. She was trying out the intermittent fasting, all the sorts of things that most night shift nurses try when it comes to losing weight, but she was still feeling puffy and inflamed. She was gaining weight. Her energy levels were really low. But look at her now. This is without dieting. Let me say that again. This is without dieting. She was able to tone up like this. What is she doing now? She's eating 3 balanced meals per day, once again, during her sleep-wake window. She's eating more. She's eating about 1,500 calories. She has a protein and calorie goal, and we're working to get these calories up because 1,500 is on the lower side, but we're working to get these up. She was eating even less than that before. 3 months in, she's 12 pounds down, eating more, no dieting, and she's just working out at home. She's doing 3 strength training workouts at home per week right now. She's been able to see all of this progress. So those are just 3 examples. We have hundreds of examples, but these are just 3 examples that I wanted to show you that you might be able to resonate with. Maybe you're a nurse that is gaining weight and you're not eating that much, or you're trying to lose weight and you're eating even less and less, and you're still stuck and you're not seeing those results that you want. Your energy's low, your cravings are high, you don't know what to eat and when during your shifts because there's so much conflicting info out there and nothing that actually works or seems to work for night shift nurses. So if this relates and you'd like to get some one-on-one help from our team, you can just check the description. I'm going to put the link to work with us as well as some free resources too, so you can get kickstarted on your own here. And nutrition is going to be the most important thing that you need to fix when it comes to losing fat, gaining your energy back, feeling great again, recovering on night shifts, because you need to figure out how you can make things work for you with your health and fitness, with your nutrition on night shifts. Even if you don't plan on being on nights forever, if you can navigate things while you're on night shifts, you're going to be able to navigate it in the long run, no matter what shifts you're on. So I hope that was helpful. Feel free to leave any questions in the comments and check the description for all the extra links.